going live right about now. We give some time for my special guest to be jumping on. Also going to share the links that everybody wants to watch. Give it a minute for the proper channels to go live. We're going to hit mute and all this. So, give me 1 second here. All right. Got that set up. This will give me a chance to go live, live on everything today. I'm live on Twitter, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Instagram. Not Instagram. I always say Instagram. We're not live on Instagram. I take that back. I'm gonna change this out so people who are not friends with me can watch with us. I'm gonna tag Josette as well. If you guys haven't been following me to see who's coming on with us, you guys know Josette's coming on with us today from the cleaning lady. This is gonna be public. And all of us in the public world can watch this now live. Live on YouTube, live on Twitch, live. Live. We're going live. Live. Josette Canilao. Canilao. All right. So this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it this way. We got people already commenting. I'm gonna show you a comment right there. A coworker, Agala, Agal naman. LOL. Told you 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Uy, 6 o'clock. It's not 6 o'clock. 5:46. We're getting everything started. We're gonna send out the invitation to everybody who wants to watch. Make sure that everybody gets it. Make sure that everybody watches. I'm using a new streaming app. Got kids outside playing really loud. So links are being shared. How's everybody's evening going on? Everyone's gonna get the link. Relax, people, relax. You're not gonna get too much. A lot of you guys who wanted to watch, a lot of you guys who are anticipating the show, me especially. And we're using a new streaming app. We're using um, we're using Restream. I tested this out a couple of days ago with Sean Garnett. recording right now. I'm not recording the audio just yet. The audio is going to be recorded separately. Right now, I'm just trying to get everything pulled up, get everybody on, sharing the link with everyone that watch. Share the link with me so I can watch you guys tonight. So that's what we're doing. We're sharing the link, doing that. You get to see who's watching and who's where's watching. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. If you guys are watching me on Twitter, go ahead and leave me a comment. I already looks like I have one person who already shared the link on Twitter. Thank you for sharing the link. If you guys are watching, if you guys are there, if you guys are ready, definitely go ahead and jump on with me. Got 10 minutes. I wanted to give Josette time to get everything acclimated, get everything going, all that stuff, all that and more. So if you guys, again, if you guys want to jump on, if you guys are watching on Facebook, if you guys are watching on YouTube, throw me a thumbs up, throw me a message, throw me a little chat letting me know you guys are watching. I got one person watching on Twitch. That's probably that bot that was watching on Twitch. So just in case, we'll see what happens. And I'm sharing the link with everyone. Everyone wanted the link shared with them. So I'm sharing the link with them. Sharing the link with my family in Japan, my family in the Philippines, and my family here in the United States. I think I got all you guys. If I forgot you guys, I apologize. I'm trying to get everything all set and settled. And if you guys are watching me on Twitch, if you guys are watching me, Ms. Marsha, if you're watching on Twitter, thank you. Thank you. Ms. Marsha just went ahead and set out or shared my little Instagram. I never went live on Twitter before. How many of you guys went live on Twitter? How many of you guys went live on Twitter and said we're gonna do this on Twitter? I'm expecting a few of you guys to jump on. So if you guys are ready to jump on, ready to do the show, um, we are ready to do this. Again, we're waiting just till about 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead and play. But the audio's not good. Jerry just asked, where is she? Jerry, she'll be in soon. Jerry Maxwell, thank you for jumping on and watching um, the daily podcast, the daily vlog. You see the daily vlogs all right here. You see the daily vlogs mug right there. If you guys want to get your stuff, your t-shirts, your mugs, shameless plug, you guys can go ahead and jump on the daily vlogs podcast.myspreadshop.com. You guys can jump on there, support the channel, support what I'm doing right here. If you guys haven't, you guys probably already are following me. You guys are following me on my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'll link right there. So we're waiting for Josette to jump on. Cherry Maxwell also said, I watched the cleaning. Yes, it's an addictive show. It's an addictive show. I watched the cleaning lady. We got a lot of people at work who watches the cleaning lady. It's pretty good. I want to, throw a shout out. And again, I'm gonna go turn off this music. It's not doing. I want to throw a shout out again. I had Miranda Kwok on here a couple weeks ago, and she's the executive producer of the cleaning lady, and just her knowledge and what they did to get this show out and to help, it's a good movie. Not only is it a good TV show, but it's also exploiting us Filipinos and what it's like to be a Filipino in America, especially the Filipinos who aren't here legally, and the struggle and the hard work we have to do with all that. So that's the good thing about that. So again, we're just hanging tight. It is about 5 minutes till about 7 minutes till 6 o'clock. So we're just hanging tight. You guys want to throw messages? You guys want to do anything? And if you guys want to jump on, again, I'm looking at my analytics. I'm seeing people watching on YouTube. I'm seeing people watching on Facebook. I'm seeing people watching on Twitter. I'm seeing people watch on Twitch. I don't do Twitch. I'm not a Twitch guy. When you guys saw me with Sean the other day, you guys saw that I'm not really a Twitch guy. So what happened? I want to see something. Hold on one second. If I turn my camera off, it has this little cool little graphic. I'm going to turn my camera off 1 minute. I'm going to play some music for you guys in the background. We're going to play the lo-fi music right here. You guys are going to enjoy some little ambiance in the background right here. Give me 1 second. Be right back. All right. Go ahead and kill the music. We got a few minutes to dive in. Just hanging out. Again, just waiting for Josette to jump on. Spoiler alert, she's already in the waiting room. We're just trying to keep the time frame till 6 o'clock. This restream is pretty cool because I could actually see her in the waiting room right now. You look fine, Josette. You look fine. She's giving me the thumbs up. You know what? We can start. We can start early. Again, I'm Mr. Douglas. Aloha, Mr. Eric from Orlando. Thank you, Douglas, for jumping on. I hope it's not too late for you in the East Coast. I know the last time me and Sean did this, it was a little too late for you guys. But I hope it's not too late. We're going to start off a little early. 5 minutes early, guys. I'm sorry. I know I said 6 o'clock, but I don't want to keep the young lady waiting. Oh, she says it's okay. All right. That's what happens. Bay Area. And if you guys don't know, she's from the Bay Area. She grew up in Concord, California, which is, what is that, east of San Francisco? I think that's east of San Francisco. Alcalanes High School. I'm gonna ask her if she has any stories of what Waterworld, is that the thing out there? Waterworld. Was she one of the ones that fell when they had that little party over there? It's funny. I'm looking at her right now. I'm like asking her the questions. I don't even need to bring her on. She's just answering the questions right there. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and bring her in a few minutes early. That's totally fine. From the cleaning lady, also from the Bay Area, I'm going to bring her in right now, who plays Dara Oum. And there she is. Josette Canilao. Am I saying that's Canilao, right? That's how you say it. Am I saying it right?
Canilao.
Canilao. How are you? Thank you for jumping on the show.
Thank you for having it. This is such a surreal experience. I've never been interviewed before.
No. It's funny because I think when we chatted the first time, first of all, everyone, Josette Canilao right there from the cleaning lady who plays Dara, who plays a big part in the role, because if it wasn't for Dara, her son wouldn't have been. Spoiler alert if you guys haven't watched it. Sorry for you guys who haven't watched it, but I'm going to spoil everything for you guys today. Let's give I almost called you Dara. Let's give Josette a round of applause right there. Again, guys, I'm going to throw out your comments. If you guys have good comments, I'm going to share it with you guys. Douglas also shared us a comment saying that, wow, from Concord. My pop still lives there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. She says, yeah, cool. So, Josette, well,
hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I can't complain.
Nice.
Good. Life is good.
We had a cool conversation when me and Josette jumped on a few days ago, and we jumped on and we talked about her acting career, the cleaning lady life, and we fell off topic and we just went off on this whole Filipino custom and all that. And I was like, oh my god, I have to pick your brain some more after the show. So
I'd love that. It's one of my favorite things to talk about.
yes,
What I've learned so far and more questions I have about my heritage, my
yeah.
background.
Yeah, it's funny because
Mhm.
today at work, if you guys are watching at work, and I apologize for saying this, I was actually Googling where my family lives in the Philippines, and I was looking at their house, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can live here. Just because we're so used to the Western culture and
Yeah.
like having to move to, a place like, or go to the Philippines and visit. I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I can live here. Well, I
Oh,
want to visit.
cool.
I do want to
So
visit, but
what's different about the house? Where is it?
they said so I just found out today. It's weird. I found out Quezon City and Manila are like two different areas.
Okay.
I
I
thought I
haven't been
lived in,
there
yeah,
in years, and
yeah,
years.
see, I left there when I was 2, been here ever since. So, but anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about you and talk about your cleaning lady role. So, first of all, what I always do is I like to have everybody introduce themselves. So, if you can please introduce yourself to everyone here.
Sure. I am Josette Canilao. I'm from the cleaning lady, um, from the Bay
Convey.
Area, born and bred. My parents are from Manila. 100% Filipino. What else? What else? What else should I say?
Yeah,
I play Dara on the cleaning lady, Dara Oum, O-U-M.
is it Om?
I believe so,
Okay, yeah.
How
She
Elodie
said,
says it, I believe.
she
Oum?
said it in the last episode.
Yeah,
And
when she was making the passports,
yeah,
O-U-M,
yeah,
to put it in it's such a good I'm so happy about that
yeah.
story, like,
And
playing
again,
that storyline.
spoiler alert, if you guys haven't watched it, we're going to spoil it. And I apologize. Season finale is next week. So you guys have time to jump on and catch the show. So the couple questions I wanted to throw out to you. And, before Cleaning Lady, what inspired you and what got you into acting? Someone from the Bay Area, Filipina from the Bay Area. How did you say, you know what? I don't want to be a nurse. I don't want to be in the medical field. I want to get into acting. How did that happen? What inspired you?
I've never wanted to be a nurse. I've never ever had the desire to go into nursing, because I get really queasy. I do not like body parts or that kind of stuff. But nurses probably don't have to do all the see blood every day, right? I
Mm, I guess it depends on where. So I'm a medical assistant, so I don't deal with a lot of that. But I guess it depends on what nurse you are. So if you're an ER nurse, if you're an ICU nurse, I'm pretty sure you're seeing all the blood and all that stuff. So
sure. But yes, I never had any desire to be a nurse. I've always it's funny, I grew up really quiet, shy and reserved and stuff, but acting was always my favorite s
wow,
thing to do, subject. I don't know, I've always loved playing pretend. I've always loved to sing. Um, I don't, fancy myself a good singer, but I do like to sing. Uh, I don't know, I got really lucky, Acalanes, and I also went to Los Lomas and Walnut Creek for a year, and, I went to WCI. Just all of the schools I went to had, acting programs and, play, activities, activities to put up plays and shows we could do. So, I was always into it, and again, I was a pretty shy kid, but I was never shy enough to hold myself back from acting in front of people.
no, I mean you are. I mean this the role that you had, even like when you first came on the role, and other than that, you were doing like before you were doing the crossing, right? You were in the crossing.
Yes, that was a few years ago on ABC.
Yeah. So there's a lot of shorts. There was also a couple of shorts that you were doing as well, right?
Yes, I did, some French shorts, I think I did a USC one, just, trying to 'cause film I was trained in theater. That's where I got my MFA. So when I moved to LA, I wanted to get as much like because we didn't do any film and TV training. So when I came to LA, I was like, "Oh, I I should kinda do that." If that's what I'm out here for, I should get some experience. So I took every opportunity I could to be in
Nice.
front of a camera.
How tough was it for someone, again, for someone, I'm gonna keep reiterating, from someone from the Bay Area, because you're definitely representing not only the Filipino community, but you're representing the Filipino community from the Bay Area. And
Yes,
again, a lot of us who are inspired by you, not only being a female, but a Filipino female, and being in the TV show. Like, I had Miranda the other on my last show, and I just gave her props. I'm like, wow, this where it's going. It's like it went from 0 to 60 so fast.
yeah.
It's like, and I told her, and I'm going to tell you, I honestly I wasn't going to watch the show because when it first came on, I was like, oh god, it's just another TV show about a lady who's like probably a specialist back in, that's what I thought of it when I first saw the commercials. But then, a friend of mine was like, hey, you have to watch this show that's like representing the Filipino community. And sure enough, season one, Martha's son was holding a box of
Get a
Jollibee chicken.
Jollibee.
I
Yeah,
was like,
it's really
wait a
cool.
minute. And then just now, all these things that you guys are doing, and you being part of this big, I want to call it, an explosion. And I totally am down for it. I sent Miranda a text yesterday saying, hey, I'm down if you guys want to you know, be part of season two, and I can play a good Tita Boy. I definitely can play a Tita Boy out there. So every Filipino needs a Tita Boy. I can be the Tita
I
Boy
think
there.
I have at least one Tito Boy.
There you go. See, we
I
all
have a
have
Tita Cherry, yeah, and a Tita Baby. I feel like everyone
it.
also has a Tita Baby,
Right. We have a
right?
Marites, a Tita Boy, a Tita Cherry. I'm
And
sure
a
you're right.
Malou. Everyone has a Malou, a
Yeah,
Tita
there
Malou.
you go. There you
Yes.
go. I'm throwing out comments. People are, if it's relevant. This one comment again from Douglas right here says, "You sound like a very natural born actress, Miss Canilao."
Oh, thank
Much
you,
success
Douglas.
with. I also want to say this is the first time that I'm using this to interview.
Yeah,
Someone
you were
brought
telling
it up to me and said, "You need to use this. Share the thoughts." So I'm using it. So if there's some, bugs, I apologize. I'll totally fix that later on. But
this is
go
very
ahead.
cool. This
Back
is super cool.
back to what you're saying. You're saying, my question was, how was it the very first audition you had when you were there? You said, okay, forget it. I'm going to LA. This is where it's going to go. How was it for you? Your first audition. How did you feel? Did you feel like, like everybody has that I got to throw up feeling? Did you have that feeling?
I don't ever think it was that I have to throw up. I think I get this, so I had to really deal with nerves. I had
Yes.
to really deal with them in a big way. I've been hustling out in LA auditioning for about 6 years. I really had to deal with them in, a big way, which I feel like I'm getting a lot better. But I must say that, yeah, those first few, it's so funny, especially for live auditions, because we have taped auditions, but we also have live auditions. So for the live ones in front of a casting director, you go into the office and you have like a little hi, thank you, or how are you, all this stuff, and then you go into your scene that they have you prepare and then read for. And I mean, there were yeah, there were some where I would just block myself. Like, I would just be numb, and I'd just be like, "Well, I don't know, I just checked out. I checked out on that one." But then there would be some, and I think it has to do with the not maybe not so much where I'm at personally that day, but the material itself, where if I'm into it, then I'm like, "Here we go." Like,
Yeah.
there's a switch sometimes, if I'm lucky, that turns on,
Yeah.
where it's like yeah, it's like magic. The nerves are gone, I sink in, and I have fun, and, it's always the whole point. How
Yes.
lucky is it that, I get to, play this role? Like, it's playing pretend in a big way, and it's just at the end of the day, if I'm not having fun, after all is said and done, if it wasn't fun, and I have to rethink my direction in life because it's such a hard hustle, and I have to be getting some kind of joy out of it, and I
Yeah.
am. So
The good thing about me doing a show like this and interviewing actors and actresses like this made me appreciate what you guys go through. In the beginning, I was so upset when I would see a Filipino person play a different nationality, right?
I remember us talking about that. Yeah, I think about that all the time
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
But then I got pulled down to earth. I had Eugene Cordero on my show, who was on TV, Loki, and he's also on Tacoma Fire. I had him on the show one day, and I asked him, and he pretty much just said, "Hey, if they want me to play Japanese, if they wanted me to play Hispanic, that's what puts food on the table for me." And I was like, I didn't never thought of it that way. I thought of it as, I'm here proud Filipino, and it's like I always told myself, if I'm going to be a Filipino actor or an actor, I'm going to play the Filipino role. But I never thought about as if you're given a role and they say, "Hey, like in the cleaning lady, you said you're Thai, right? Or
Cambodian.
Cambodian." Yeah. So you're given that role to be Cambodian. You're like, "Hey, I get to be part of a big show, and if they want me to be Cambodian, I'm going to be Cambodian."
It's again, it's a nuanced conversation, right? This I think the big thing now that I focus on is opportunity.
Yes.
The opportunity for actors that look like me are few, and highly competitive market, it's few. So this a show like this, being able to be on a show like this and still represent the region of it, and still identify is a step toward the right direction. And this show like expands the opportunity for actors that look like me, that have this
Yes.
color hair, this color skin, these facial features. So in that sense, I feel proud and confident in playing a Cambodian named Dara. And I think I told you this when we had our prelim chat
Yes.
about the thing. But so I have been to Cambodia. I spent about a month in Siem Reap and Phnom Penh and like little islands, like Kampot and Kep. And when I wasn't with my friends, who are Caucasian females, when I wasn't with them and I was kind of walking, exploring the town myself, people would come up to me and just start talking to me in Khmer.
Yeah.
And I see the people, they look like me, they look like my relatives. So I think I was like, oh, I represent people who look like me, and
Yes.
that is enough. And of course, one day I would love to play a Filipino from the Bay. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like, I
my god.
would absolutely love it. I feel like I'd just nail it because it wouldn't be too far from me. But the thing is also, I think these 6 years out in LA, it's hard. There's so much rejection you face, and there's so much that I felt, oh my God, this is so unfair. Like, all of this is out of my control. I want something that I feel like I have no control over anything. So then I started writing, and that actually has really helped me. I know everyone like writes in LA, but every actor is a actor writer, right? But
Yeah.
it's also a therapeutic process for me to know, oh, I have stories to tell, and that I haven't necessarily seen. And I love being part of the show because I feel like it's a story that I'm part of that hasn't been told yet. And I just really, really like kudos to this show. I'm so
Oh
happy
my god, yeah.
part of it.
I mean, just to watch the show and see the direction it's going. Again, it's I described it going. It's a really fast car going in a fast lane, and it's headed towards the right direction. The writing, the actress and actors that are on the show, and the way you guys are on the show, we feel that watching TV, right? And that's something when I watch a show and I can feel the actor and actresses, I can feel the character that you guys are giving out. It's like I'm sold right away. And from episode 1 to episode 9, I was like, oh my God, again, it's like, it's not like when you watch a show, and I'm not knocking the show Walking Dead. It's not nothing like that where they're gonna come into zombies, they're gonna try to get away from the zombies. This one has twists and turns where it's like,
Yeah, it does.
it's like,
Yeah.
again, spoiler alert, that last episode
Oh
when
my gosh.
when Elodie and Tony's character, she says, "I'm just gonna get in the trunk." And I'm like, "Don't do it."
Girl, girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Just
so good because she plays it like you understand her logic and you understand why, and it's always so clear, like, her direction and you like, that maybe that's not the best decision, but in that moment, I'm like, "Girl, get in the truck. Let's go. Let's not get caught," you know? But then it's like, "Oh, yeah, maybe you should have waited," you know? Like, it's a really it's a it's a show that, puts stuff in your face that just hasn't been seen yet. Um,
yes.
so it was really cool, and I must say, like, that border scene was my most favorite thing to film. I couldn't
Now
yeah, I was it was so cool. It was
now
so
I know when I talk to Martha, I know a lot of the filmings are usually filmed in, New Mexico. Was this border scene in New Mexico also, or was it, an actual.
was
Okay, okay, because yeah, I went to Tijuana a few times, and me walking back from Tijuana would always freak me out because I was like, yeah, you can't come back in, and then having to go through that what you guys went through with the line and making sure the passports were real. Oh man, that,
yeah.
yeah, that part was like again, if I had fingernails, it would all been bitten off during that one episode. I got a comment again. This is from Maria, who's saying, "Hi, Josette. Love you. You're so proud of you. Thank you." So,
That's my mom.
oh, hi, mom.
She's probably laughing her head off right now.
Mom, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for supporting. And but it starts with that though, right? You're
I
like,
will say they have never, ever pressured me into being a nurse, a
good.
dental assistant, or anything really. They did want me to get so I have a BA in communication
Yeah,
studies. They did want me to get a career that wasn't, like, arts related. I did it,
yeah,
and, I did it well, I must say. But then I continued to do my thing, and even though they didn't sometimes fully understand my thing, they were always really proud.
yeah.
And they were yeah, they were always really proud and always trusted me to use my good judgment, and in following my dreams, and I feel like, I make mistakes, but I have for the most part, and here I am, and I'm really happy that they can see it, I'm really happy they can see this
How
growth.
was it for you the first time when you said, "You know what, mom and dad, I'm leaving. I'm moving to LA." And Filipinos, we have a strong bond with our family. The family ties that we have are really strong. How was it for you, and how was it for them when you just said, "Look, if I want to do this, I have to move to LA. This is where it all has to start."
Well, I think the conversation that kind of like I have to move away for what I want to do started like when I went to grad school
Okay.
because I went to New York. And it was so weird. I knew that, like, I just wanted to do it all on my own. Like, my dad was like, "No, no, no." Like, when I got accepted into I went to Columbia for my MFA, in acting, theater arts acting concentration. When I went, my dad was like, "Oh, I'll help you move." And something in my brain was like, "No, I wanna do it on my own." So I,
Nice.
like, have these, like, 3 huge black suitcases walking down, like, the Lower East Side, trying to hail a cab, just having no like, I don't know why I just wanted to do it all alone, and I think that was the big thing. And they were always like, "Yeah, I mean, you pay for it, like, the loans are yours, but go, we trust you," and it yeah, they've always just trusted me, and that was
Good.
yeah.
Good. And they're supporting you because here's another comment from mom, and she's
Oh god.
saying, "Yes, it's mom and dad, and yes, I am laughing."
Mom, stop, I get it, I'll talk to you after.
No, it's cool. It's cool. The thing that I love about this is like your family is very supportive in what you do, and they're proud of what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, mom, you can confirm with this. Every time you're on TV, I'm pretty sure you're like, "There she is. She's
Oh,
on
she flips
TV."
out.
Yeah.
She flips, I'm sure, and, I always get a call or a text, and she gets very into the story. She's like, "Oh, I didn't like what he did to you, that was so mean." Or so it's so funny, I did a FBI episode, FBI's Most Wanted, I was in an
Yes.
episode last year, and what was it? Her coworker, because I play a gangster that like betrays my boyfriend, who's the main supporting character of the whole storyline. And then she was like, "Oh my coworker." He was like, "Oh, I don't like your daughter. She's very mean and naughty." It's really funny, but also which is really cool about family. They wanted so my character on FBI's Most Wanted. Uh, had to have like a picture, a newspaper clipping picture on her fridge of with like an uncle. They were like, "Oh," and this was during COVID, so they didn't like have an opportunity to take a picture with me and like another actor or something. But
Yes.
they were like, "Oh, do you have a picture with an older male relative?" And I sent them a picture of my dad, and it ended up being like on the show. So like,
Nice.
my my aunties were like, some of them were like, "Oh my God, is that Robin?" This is my dad's name. Is that Robin on on TV? So it was really funny. Like
Made it on TV without even being an actor, right?
I know it's easy for some people, I guess, Dad.
I had a friend, I had a coworker when I posted our show on Facebook today. It's kind of funny you mentioned that. I had a friend, old coworker of mine who commented and said, "You look just like your aunt," because he worked with your aunt a while ago, and I don't know which
Oh,
aunt it was, but I was just like, "Wow, this is such a small world that here you are from the Bay Area, and he actually worked with your aunt." So that's kind of cool in a way.
I mean, the community actually gets smaller and smaller the more
Yes.
I'm involved in it. It's actually quite a small community.
Yes, and it's good because, like this, you have the support from mom and dad, you have support from your whole family.
Yeah.
If this show came on versus the Super Bowl, and if the Bay Area teams weren't in it, I'm pretty sure your show will be winning over the family versus the Super Bowl because we're all going to watch Josette on TV versus
Oh,
whatever
for
Super Bowl team.
sure.
Yeah, of
For
course.
sure. Even if the Bay Area teams were in it.
Well,
I think
yeah,
most of it.
you'll probably have 2 TVs going on. You're like, "Yes, yes, Josette, yes!"
I do that so I feel like when I moved to New York, that's when Bay Area teams really start like, the Warriors got
Or
huge.
yeah,
Um, oh my god, the
yeah.
Giants. I don't follow sports. I've never been probably never. I won't ever jump on that bandwagon. And some of my relatives are diehard. My parents are too,
Yeah.
but some of my relatives are, like, way more diehard. I'm not.
That's okay. How were you there for the Super Bowl? Were you in LA during the Super Bowl?
I watched it at a friend's in Glendale, but I mostly was, like, eating food and playing Monopoly Deal, and oh, I watched the halftime show. The
Of
halftime show
course.
was
We
great.
all watched the halftime show because for us older folks, it broke our back at the end because we all were trying to dance to the show.
Oh my god, Mary J. Blige was so good. She did so well. It was
You
so
know, I have to
proud.
talk about that on another podcast because she's the only one I didn't like. I
No.
liked her music. It was just she sang that slow song that kind of like took the air out of
No.
the whole crowd. And I'm like,
Oh, you think so? It got
I,
me
I
fired
think
up.
so. I think so. And I'm looking at this as a Super Bowl watcher, someone who wants to be hyped and crowd. But anyways, we can talk about that another day.
Okay.
Back to you. I asked this one question. It's kind of a weird question for me, but this is a question that I just wanted to see what your answer would be. And if you can do a movie, a reboot of a movie, any movie in the world, and you would want to play a character in that movie, what movie would it be?
Um, I mean, the only thing I don't oh, can it be like a play?
It could be a play. Yeah, it could be a play.
So I have a whole list. I love Shakespeare, so I definitely would wanna play, Hamlet before I die. I'd love to play Juliet again. I've played her twice. I'd love to
Nice.
play, Juliet again. Um, and I have, like, Viola, Rosalind. If I could, like, go to New York and do Shakespeare in the Park before I die, that's what I would wanna do.
Wow. Wow.
Um, but, like, I don't know, like, I would like, if they ever did, like, a Filipino Godfather,
Oh my God.
I would love to play, like, The Godfather or like Sonny.
The
I
main the
feel like
main
I'd be a great
character.
Sonny.
The main character. Wow.
Yeah, I would I mean, if I got older and played, like, godmother, like, I don't know what you Lola. Lola,
Ninang
part 1 and
Josette.
part 2 and part
That's what we call it. We call it Ninang Josette.
3.
That's what we would call it. That's actually a good thing to
Ninang
think about.
Canilao, and it'd be so
Yeah,
but there'd be rice somewhere
yeah.
in there. There'd be
Instead of the pasta that they eat in The Godfather, we're eating like rice and adobo, right? That's what we'll
now
be
on
doing.
banana leaves with our hands.
Yeah. Oh my God. See, that's something
I
something you
should
should think
teach
about.
that. I
Yeah.
should teach that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Ninang.
there might be machetes involved.
Nice. With
Parang Tagalogs, obviously, butterfly sleeved clothes. Maybe we can feature some tinikling dancers in there somewhere, you
Oh
know?
man, I would be the guy in the background, just the guy like going, no, no, you're doing that wrong. Josette, let me show you how to do the tinikling. Come here. Come here.
You could be like Clemenza teaching, Mike how to make the spaghetti. Instead, you're teaching Mike how to make pancit canton.
Yes.
That'd
Yes.
be fun.
No, you're putting that too much. Too much salt. You don't want to put the salt in there. Come on.
Or you could be like, you like assassinate someone and then you say, uh, leave the gun, take the throne.
No, it'll be like take the gun, leave the turon. It'll be the opposite. Sorry.
No, you take the Turon. You always take the Turon.
Leave the turon, please. Don't go away with the sauce either. I want the sauce. Come on. No, but that's cool. And you know, again, family's first when it comes to a lot of things. And I love how your mom is commenting and they're enjoying the show. You have that like, no, mom. I don't know how she's watching on YouTube. So I don't know how she knew that you were on YouTube. I thought your family, I tagged you on Facebook. So I thought you would have more of them watching on Facebook. But she's watching on YouTube. Thank you, mom, for watching. Thank you, dad, for watching.
Oh, you
Being supportive, and that's the cool thing. That's the number one thing when it comes to this is like a big journey for you, and it's also a big journey for your family. And for them to say like, okay, my daughter's leaving, she's pursuing what she wants to do, and then years later you're on a big show like the cleaning lady, and
yeah.
it's like who would have known, right?
Yeah, it's I don't know. Like sometimes thinking about it, it's overwhelming because every day you take baby steps toward your goal, and then all of a sudden a big thing happens, and it's like, whoa, how did I get here? But then you were working. I was working the past 6 years to get here, so it's a weird, you know, time's a tricky thing. But I will say, even sorry, mom and dad, but even if they weren't supportive, I don't think I would have never tried.
Yeah,
Like, it wouldn't have stopped me from trying.
yeah,
And it's so funny with Joe Coy. I've seen his stand-up multiple times on Netflix, his specials, and, like, him, like, making fun of how his mom reacted when he was, like, saying he was gonna be a comedian and all of that stuff. But yet he is.
yeah,
He's doing a stand-up, and I'm watching the Netflix special of it,
yeah,
Like, I mean, great. Like, we can do so many things, you
yeah.
know? We can do so many things, and I
And
really
I love this. I love what you just said. We can do so many things and we can. And to bring I had a couple guests on before and I had this whole idea of like I want a show whether it's a TV series or a movie where it's Filipino actors and actresses, it's a Filipino writer, it's a Filipino producer, the everybody that is part of it is Filipino or
director's Filipino.
director's Filipino, the costume designer's Filipino, and we have the lumpia chef serving us our lunch every day, stuff like that. And this is something that it's getting close. Joe Coy is coming out with the Easter Sunday, which is a multi Filipino cast, which is cool.
Yes.
And one day we're gonna see like on the big screen where exactly what I just said, where it's an American movie. It's not one of those specials in the movie theater where they only show it one day a week, at certain times of the
Yeah.
night. It's gonna be a film where we're just gonna be like, wow, that's us. And I can't wait for that to happen. And you are leading the foreground, and I can't wait to see where your career goes because I know
Me
this is
neither. I can't wait to see
I
where
know
it goes.
I
Well,
know this
I
is
do I have to say that, like, a huge turning point for me and how I see myself in this is industry and kind of how I clarified my goal, like, what my goal was, because kind of when I first came, it's like, I just wanna book a job. I just wanna book a job. I just wanna know that I'm good enough. And when I did that, it still felt like, "Oh my god, this is it? Like, what?" But then I didn't know what I was missing. Like, I saw Joe Coy's Seattle or Hawaii special, and there were thousands of people and him talking about things that I grew up kind of feeling ashamed about, like
yeah,
my lunch in a Cool Whip Tupperware that was like rice and adobo. I wasn't gonna take that out and eat it in front of my friends, but that now there's a guy making a joke about it, and there are tens of thousands of people laughing in familiarity to it.
yeah,
And that's where when I was like, "Oh my god, like I belong." Those thoughts, I wasn't isolated in that thinking. I
yeah,
just isolated myself because I wasn't surrounded by it. Yet here's a man, like that's the power of art, right? That's the power of uh like that's why we do this for connection and for showing people that like look, you're not alone in all these experiences. They're shared experiences, and there's not enough of that for Filipino people, and
yeah,
I'm so proud to be part of that. And I'm really thankful to Joe Coy for I feel like he really opened my eyes personally to see, oh my god, entertainment
yeah,
can reach me personally on a deeply personal level. And him talking about his Filipino mom that sounds like mine and it being funny and accepted and cool to people. I think that was a game changer for me.
it's definitely something, and me being on this side of and this side of what I'm doing, sharing your story, sharing everyone's story. And again, I said it earlier, it made me appreciate what you guys do as actors and actresses, and what you guys either you sacrifice or you guys have to do to get to where you are. And 6 years later, here you are on one of the biggest platforms on TV, on Fox's number 1 hit, and
So proud.
it's just getting better, and it can't get any worse than what it is. It's already to a point where it's like, wow, this is the season ending next week, and I don't want it to end.
Oh,
I don't want it to end. And again, I reached out to Miranda and I said, hey, Miranda, if you guys need help next season, I'll be more than happy to fly down to wherever you need me to fly down to.
I don't know, I hope they get renewed. I think they still like, we don't know or anything, but, it's just I feel like also the TV market's so competitive,
Yeah. Yeah.
and, I'm praying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fortune teller, but if I was, I'd be a millionaire and I wouldn't be doing this right now. But I think it will. I think it will. I think the direction you guys are going, and just the Bay Area alone, with the big Filipino community, everybody watching from, your family to my family. And it's one of those like water cooler things. Like on Monday or Tuesday morning, we're like all around, like, did you watch it last night?
Aw.
And my coworkers are like, why did he do that? Why did he? It's like, why you get mad at me? You know?
I know, it's like, "Mom, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
like, I don't know." She's like, "Oh my god," like, my coworkers are like, "Why?" Like, "Oh my god, did he die? Did he
yeah.
die? Just tell me." Like, "No, I'm not gonna tell you
Can't
why."
tell you. I can't tell you. Yeah, spoiler alert. I have family in the Philippines who, when they do watch it, they watch it a day ahead. So they're like, "Oh no!" I was like, "No, no, don't tell me.
You watch it? You
Don't
know
tell me."
people in the Philippines who watch it?
They find ways to stream it. So from what I heard from them, they
I
find ways to stream it. When they
love
found
it.
out the cast was Filipino, they found out, Elodie's character Tony is a surgeon from the Philippines. So when they found that out, they're like, "Oh, we have to watch this." So I don't know how they're watching it, but they're finding ways to stream it, and they try to spoil it for me whenever they can. I'm like, "No, I don't spoil it. No,
That's so sad.
I want to be spoiling my own. I want to be the one sitting there like what the what the
Filipinos get too excited. They
oh."
can't keep anything.
It's funny because I never watch a TV unless it's a football game or a basketball game. I never talk to the TV. And I don't know if any Filipinos, mom, if you can relate to this, are you screaming at the TV the way I'm screaming at the TV every time we watch this
I
show?
100% yes. 100% yes.
Yeah.
I do that, and I got it from my mom.
You're like, don't go
She
with
was
the show.
screaming at the TV from the beginning, yeah.
Yeah. How, how do you like, let's talk about the cleaning lady. How do you like I mean, I see your, I'm fortunate enough to follow you guys on Instagram and follow you guys on your social networks, and I see that family camaraderie you guys have as a group, and I'm like, wow, and that's why I reached out to Miranda's like, that's the coolest thing, because usually you'll have actors and actresses who are just like, okay, I'm done. Let's go, but the way you guys are, and I see the posts you guys look like you guys are having fun. How is that for you guys?
I tell everybody this, one of the best sets I've ever been, like, blessed to be part of. Like, in every way, shape, and form, they make everyone feel important, necessary, like their voices are heard, and it just makes for the work to be good. I feel like the reason the actors are so good and relaxed is because the environment was fun and relaxing, and, my goodness, I feel like Elodie being the lead, and I was fortunate enough to have most of my scenes with her and with, oh my god, and don't get me started on Sebastian and Valentino. Like, I love kids, and I was so happy to play this character because, she's doing something to save a kid. Like, that's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Yeah.
Like, so being around, Sebastian and Valentino was super fun. They remind me so much. I have a brother who's, 12 years younger than me. He's 19 and he's taller than me, and I can't deal with it right now. Anyways, they reminded me of, my of Ozzy, and I told, their parents that parents are the sweetest, like, just so easy, encouraging, what is it? Elodie, like, was so complimentary, and I haven't worked as much as her, but she treated me like I have worked forever.
Yeah.
She was just so sweet to work opposite, and, Marco is the sweetest guy. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of scenes with Martha, but, she's really nice. She's so funny, and I got to meet her once, and she's, like, the same bubbly lady.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny because she was the first one that I reached out to, and when I got her on, the same thing we did the whole pre, with the interview thing. I was just like, wow, this lady is like really cool, and it's like the way she speaks, and the same thing you just said, like the whole chemistry you guys have, and it's like, you know, who doesn't want to be a part of it? I sit here on this side and I'm getting everything ready for what I'm going to ask you. Then I'm seeing a post. I'm like, oh my God, that looks so fun. I wish I was there. It's like, it's one of those cool things. It's like, and I'm glad you guys are doing it. I'm glad you guys are sharing this story. Um, but it's fun. It's fun. I'm happy for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I must say, like, what Miranda and what Miranda's created, and it's just been, I don't know. I thank her so much, and I feel so grateful to her. She created a great environment, and she would be on set too, like just supporting and watching. So, so sweet, like so dope. I think I had a thought, but my mind is just
That's okay. I got another comment from mom.
mom.
Jumping up and down, screaming whenever Josette is on the screen. So it's cool. The support. I love that. I love that support. And we're not trying to, they love seeing their daughter on TV, and it's a cool thing. So that's a cool thing. And I'm the same way when I'm seeing like different characters, and I hear that. I was when we were watching it on Monday, I was like, okay, they haven't said the Tagalog word yet, because usually we listen for that Tagalog phrase, and Elodie and Martha was like mahal kita. I was like, oh, there it
Wait,
is.
Elodie says it, the Monday's episode, she says it in the
Yeah,
very
yeah,
beginning of the episode to
yeah.
Armand.
Oh, does she? Oh, does she say it? Oh,
To Armand in that, like, weird, like, when, n what's her, the Armand's wife, Ava De
yeah.
Dominici, I don't know how to say her last name, but that wonderful actress plays her, and then her face kind of exchanges with
Yes.
Elodie's face, and I believe Elodie says, "Mahal kita, Armand."
Oh, I gotta catch that. I was so into the face transformation. Like it's like, oh
It
my
was
God.
a lot. It was a lot it was a lot going on. His psyche was going crazy at that
I was
moment.
just saying to myself, don't say the wrong name. Don't say the wrong name.
Not
Yeah.
not not Nadia. Is her name Nadia?
Oh, I have to look it up. But yeah, I know who you're talking about. The wife of Armand. How is it playing? I have a lot of coworkers who they're bugging me to try to get Adon. Is it Adon or Aiden? The one who plays
Aiden,
Armand.
Aiden.
Aiden, yeah. They're bugging me to try to get him on the show because of, one thing, because they think he's you know, sexy. Have
He
you
is
got to play
right.
with him? Play with him?
Well, the scene in 108 Full On Gangsta, which I
Yes.
get to say the title of that episode, and that I was like, "I'm going full Bay on that one."
Yes.
Um, but when Dara, goes on the jet, and then when she goes to Mexico, Aiden was in those scenes, so I was able to, meet him, and he's like everybody, humble, kind, welcoming, professional, and yeah, I mean, really, really kind guy, like,
Yeah.
very approachable, and I remember because the scene where we're going into the hospital, which is like this hospital resort.
Yes.
We're supposed to be in Mexico, and I know a little Spanish, so during like in between takes, I'd be like, "Ah, hola casarola," just like having some fun. And then I remember he was like, "You speak Spanish?" And I said, "Oh, poco, un poco, un poco." And he was like, "Your accent's really good." I won't forget that.
Nice.
He was really nice.
So he plays a character like in the beginning episode, we're like, okay, this is a bad guy who's dealing with a bad person or a bad mafia guy. But towards the end of the season, we're like, we're all liking him. We're all like picking for him. We're like, oh, I like this guy because now the guy who plays the FBI agent is like, you know, he's the bad guy in this episodes. But like having him, it's like, wait, first of all, we didn't like him, but now we really want him, and we kind of want him and Tony to get together. But he's married, she's married, so it's kind of like I don't know what this is where this is going, but it's gonna be one of those things where if season 2 comes out, it's gonna be I would say it's gonna be this whole love triangle thing that's going on.
Well, I just loved what Elodie says in the cage, like, during 109, the last episode.
Yes.
She says, like, "What is good or bad? Like, is that really a thing? Like, good and bad?" And I was like, "Yeah, that exactly is," because Aiden, I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's good. There are good and bad things to everything. Every character does, you know? Martha hiding the status of her son from him for 16 years.
Yeah.
And, life circumstances do all these things. And Elodie playing both sides. That's what's really cool about this show.
Yeah.
You can find flaws in characters, yet you root for them so, 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 so hard. You know, it's
Yeah.
cool. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
No, you're right. She plays both sides. She's like, if I need help, I'm going to Armand. If I can't get help from him, I'm going to I forget the name of
Oliver.
the FBI agent. Yeah, so
Oliver. I think that's the actor's name. But yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
To Mr. FBI.
Yeah. But
To,
you're right though. As a mom, as a parent, you'll do whatever you can to get that help for your son and to do whatever you have to do for your son. And I love how that one scene when you guys were crossing the border, she's like, Dara, you have to go take my son and pretend because she knew in the back of her head, if I get caught, he gets caught, and you're the only one that can go over because you're a citizen. And now they're both stuck in Mexico. So the way she just thought about that, I'm like, wow, that's exactly what a true parent would do just to get her son across. And I love that.
That's what I love about her and how she's played, Tony, is just like, fierce love for her son is the thing. So you can't call it bad, and it's just a pure love, and
Yeah.
then that's why you're like, "Don't arrest her.
Yeah.
Don't why would you arrest her?" You know? "Why don't you give her son the surgery and, like, let's call it all a day," you know?
Yeah.
I
Just
love the
let her
comment
go.
they have about immigration. Like, that is a huge, just the fact that they're addressing it and then they're centering it around the problem of the boy getting healthcare. Like, it's a great show. I'm just so proud
I
of
mean, just that writing alone, like you just said, that writing alone where there's a bigger picture than what we're watching. And the bigger picture is you're right, just because you're a foreigner and you're not from this country, why is it so hard for you to get healthcare? And just that whole scene where I forget which episode that was, where they're like, your visa expired, we can't help you. And Elodie's character was like, you got to do whatever you can to help me because this is the only chance my son has. I felt that. I was like, oh my God, what if that was me? What if it was reversed? What if I had no other choice? I would do exactly what she did. And for her to find Armand, for her to do what she's doing, hey, I would do it.
Yeah, and, people do whatever they need to do
Yeah.
to take care of their own.
I have a family member on who just asked the question. This is my Uncle Nick, not my TV.
Well,
Hi, Josette. Given a chance, what's your dream role to play someday? I think you answered that, right? With
Hamlet before I die.
Hamlet. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Hamlet would be the big one, and hopefully Juliet again, but I feel like she's supposed to be 14. I'm too old.
No, you're Filipino. We have that Filipino skin. We can
Is it Asian don't raisin?
Asians no raisin.
Yeah,
Exactly. You can play that. I mean, like in this role, are you supposed to be playing a teenager in this role, or are you?
college student, like mid-20s, early 20s,
Yeah,
mid-20s.
$20,000 for an organ.
Shouldn't it be more? I don't like, how much do organs go for these days? I
Yeah.
don't know. I should have bartered, like, I should have been like, "Okay, 20 G's is our starting point, right? Like,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
higher."
20 for one organ. But that one episode where they went down to the border and Elodie's character saw what the illegal the black market organ dealers were going on there. It's like you got to pay your way to cross, and this is what we got to take from you. I'm like, wow, like
All that stuff, it just I don't that's a whole 'nother world.
yeah,
Like, that's a whole 'nother world.
yeah. And it's funny because it's like when I had Miranda on, I was like, Miranda, did you guys do your research? And she's like, yeah, we did the research, and this is what really goes on down there. And for us who are sitting here comfortably, we don't think of stuff like that. Like, wow, this is actually really going on down there. And it's like, here we are fortunate. I'm gonna go eat dinner in a minute, but here they are trying to think of like, okay, I'm gonna have to give up a kidney just so I can spend the rest of my life with my mom or my wife or whatever, right?
Yeah. I also liked have you seen Squid Game?
Yes.
Like, he, like, sold his body, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like, yeah, that's stuff, what people do when they're in a pinch.
yeah, yeah.
Like, then organs start leaving, like, what?
Right,
And,
right.
like, I know I played that line really, a little heavy, but, like, yeah, I could really use that $20,000, to get through my last year of college. Girl, you gonna give up your liver for 22, like,
Mhm.
that's a lot. But I know it's a part of the liver, and the liver also regenerates itself because
Yeah.
everyone only has 1 liver. There is a surgery where you can just take part of it and implant it, and then that your liver can also regenerate, stuff like that. But yeah, the liver is a big organ.
See, mom, she does know medical, so that's a good thing. So
Someone told me that when I was like, "Oh, the liver transplant. I'm giving up my liver. Don't I need it?" My friend was like, "No, no, no. Let me tell you something.
like, we all like, wait, don't I need it? Yeah, exactly.
You
Um,
better need your liver."
what's next for you? I mean, I know the cleaning ladies is wrapping up. Is there something that you can share with us that you're working on?
Nothing currently. Living the life of an LA actor again, always
Nice.
probably. Um, and it's not as idyllic as it sounds, but the rewards can be good. Writing and going to acting class. If anyone is in LA and wants to join a great studio, it's called the Last Acting Studio. I'm in it, so
Oh, you
come
guys
join.
do anything virtual? If you guys do virtual, I'll be more than happy to join.
Really? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Tuesdays.
yeah. If you guys do
Please
that
do.
virtual, I'm kind of like, again, these interviews that I'm doing with you guys, it's making me like, do I want to write? Do I want to be behind the scenes, or do I want to be in front of the scenes? It's like, what do I want to do?
So cool, cause like, yeah, out here it just kind of feels like the wild, wild west. Like anything, it feels like all these stories are possible. That's what
Yeah,
it feels like with all this new diverse stuff coming out and being pushed and being successful.
yeah.
Now it feels like, whoa, the area of play has just kind of broadened for people who never used to actually be able to play like this before. So it's exciting. Oh, I also want to, Ruby, who does the original music, has also been like such a
Yes,
cool, huge
yes,
part of the
yes.
show too. And she has a wonderful music video called Us, and that song was in the pilot. It's so good.
That's the one where there's three of them, right? There's three of them. No,
There's
there's
yeah, Rocky, oh my gosh, the other girl's name is,
yeah,
escaping me, and then Ruby.
yeah. I saw that video and I was like, wow. I
It's
never heard Philippine Tagalog mixed in with English rap. Like I've heard it, but I didn't hear it the way they did it. I was like, wow.
did you see the video?
I saw the video. Yeah,
Like, the
I love. Yeah,
costumes, all the
yeah.
Filipino women, that lady who has this beautiful speech at the end, and then, like, the rageful screaming that Ruby does, and there's a dancer who's doing, the bamboo sticks, with the peacock costume or
Yeah.
the bird costume. That's one of my well, cousin, I don't think we're blood related, but, yeah, Stephanie, she's, like, a great Filipino traditional dancer, and I was like, "Oh my god, is that Ate Steph?" That's cool.
We talked about, and you said we'll talk about it. You work at a restaurant. You work at a Filipino restaurant in LA.
Yes, I do. Come to Spoon and Pork if anyone's in LA. There's one in Silver Lake on Sunset Boulevard and one in Sawtell on the west side in Japantown.
What
And
kind of food? I know it's Filipino, but what's their like main dish? If I go there, what's the main dish that I have to get?
I mean, any pork dish, but the big one is the crispy pata, the patita.
Yeah.
Um, and like you have to, this is your cheat day. Like, don't go halvesies with this. Like, get all the good stuff.
Wow.
The patita, deep fried pork shank, jasmine rice, and like cucumber garnish, and then the lechon kawale, the pork belly adobo are the other two top sellers. My favorites are the sisig, the caldereta, and the pancit canton. The
Wow.
pancit vegan for all you vegans, and the chicken chicharron. They have shroom salpicao, which are good, and the eggplant ensalada is really good. But they're from Manila. Two chefs. They started as a food truck, opened their Silver Lake location, then opened Sawtell like last October or around the fall last year, and that's when I joined, right after I filmed The Cleaning Lady. I have this, like, Filipino theme happening in my life.
Yes, you do, you do.
I
That's
really do.
good. And then I asked you, do you get recognized? You said you told me no, but I have a feeling that's gonna change in the next couple weeks.
We'll see, but I will say there was a I this it's warmed my heart. I was working after I did The Crossing, I was, Naomi for episodes of The
Yes.
Crossing. That was a great experience. I loved that role too. Like, that role was dope. Unfortunately, the series didn't get renewed, but it was the one of the dopest roles. I loved it. Anyways, like, it wasn't really well, what is it, publicized or anything, so I didn't know a bunch of people who watched it except my mom and her friends, but, I remember I was working at a seafood restaurant, in Santa Monica, and there was a couple, like, a couple, they were dating, I knew it, but the guy kept looking at me, and I was like, "This is so weird, like, I'm just gonna leave this table," and then I come back, and I'm like, "What can I get for you?" And the guy keeps staring and he's like, "I'm sorry, can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, "In front of your girlfriend." And he was like, "Were you on The Crossing?" And I was like, "Oh, okay. Yes, I was." And then he was like, "Oh my God, she didn't believe me, but I told her, like, I think that's her." And then that we all just start laughing and it was so funny. And that was the one time that like strangers were
Yeah.
like asked me about. Oh, I will say at Spoon and Pork, there's my dear, dear friend Tobit Kapati, who I think you should talk to too, because
Oh,
he's an actor who's been out here longer than me, and he was in The Internship, the movie, and
yes.
he's really, really funny. And he also works at Spoon and Pork. He got me my job, kind of.
Send him my way. We definitely
I will slip
gotta
into
have
his
that.
DMs. He's on
Yes.
yeah.
Send him my way. Do you guys get a lot of Filipino patrons over there when at Spoon and Park?
Yes.
So they again in the next couple weeks, I'm reading this right now. You're gonna get like, "Are you Dara? Are you Dara? Are you Dara?"
Well, also, I think the mask throws people off.
Oh, that's right.
I
That's
still wear masks in the restaurant. I know mandates are lifted, but for my own,
yeah.
personal comfort level, I'll wear them. But yeah, that can throw people off too. But I know the show is really popular, and that
Yes.
makes me so happy. So
Yes. It is. It is. It's very popular, especially again, like I said, here in the Bay Area, we have the Tuesday morning meeting, and before we do our rundown of what's going on in our clinic, we like, so what do you think about yesterday's episode? Well, how do you think that, it's like, did you watch it? That's the first thing they ask. Did you watch it? It's like, oh my god, oh my god.
what are you gonna do when it's over next week?
I don't know. I can
Oh, yeah,
binge watch it. For you guys who don't, again, for you guys who haven't watched it, the Cleaning Lady here in the Bay Area is Mondays at 9 o'clock on Fox. I'm pretty sure Mom can confirm that over in Concord. But for you guys who needs to watch it, binge watch. I think it's on Hulu. I'm pretty sure Hulu is doing that
and
now
the new episode gets released at midnight.
on Hulu.
Yeah, every Monday at midnight.
Oh, don't tell me. Oh, Monday. Oh, not Sunday night. Okay, okay,
No, 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 Monday, Monday.
okay.
No, 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 they
Yeah.
wouldn't do
I was like, wait, don't tell me. With everyone else. No.
that.
But again, you being on the show, you representing, the females who one day I want to do what she's doing. One day I want to be her. One day I want to sit here and be exactly the way she is. You're inspiring a lot of people, not just the Filipinas. You're inspiring the female actresses who wants to get into the business. And, for you to do that, I'm definitely honored to have you on the show.
That's so sweet. I will say, like, it's so nice to hear stuff like that because, like, I sometimes it's like I'm not, saving lives. I'm working at a restaurant every day and, like, wondering when the next chance is gonna hit, but, when it does hit, it was so nice to like, have relatives call me and text me and be like, "We're so proud of you."
Yeah. Oh
You know,
yeah.
it's the best feeling. It's the
Yeah.
best feeling, so it's
When I had you on and we did our little pre-chat, there was just this different energy you had, and you had this energy where that's why I said I want to get you back on the show just to do a podcast about what your beliefs are when it comes to the Filipino culture and the Filipino community. And this is something that I've been preaching for who knows how long, where and I brought it up to you in our pre-chat, just because you went to Hawaii for a week doesn't mean you come back, you're Hawaiian. You're still Filipino inside, but we get a lot of Filipinos here that forgets who they are, forgets where they come from, forgets where their mom and dad,
Mm.
the struggles their mom and dad had to do to bring them here, to raise them right. You mentioned it, we have titas and aunties who's like, I don't speak Tagalog. What are you talking about? It's like, you guys got to remember where you
I
came
will
from.
say some people at the that come to Spoon and Pork, I hear the accent, I know
Oh
they
yeah,
can speak Tagalog, but they always talk to me in English, and
yeah,
that to each their own, that's fine. For
yeah,
me personally, there's such power and strength, and I go around the world more confident knowing where I come from,
yeah.
point blank period, and I've been lucky to have people who are very, have been raised by parents who are very humble, and always told me, "This is where you come from. This is who we are." They spoke to me in Tagalog, and I would respond in English, but I'm thankful I understand it and I can like speak it better. And what I will say, just like my mom and my dad, they never denied, and they never ever tried to deny that we're we're
Yeah,
Filipino. You
exactly.
know? And the thing is, I went to an all white school. I ain't gonna pass. You know what I mean? Like there's no shot.
Yeah,
Like I'm Filipino,
nice. This is from my uncle. You make all Filipinos proud, and
That's very sweet, Tito
that's
Nick.
Tito
Thank
Nick.
you.
Tito Nick. You're family. I told you we're all family.
We're
Whenever you're in
family related, Eric.
whenever you're in the Bay Area, you're definitely coming over. We're gonna make the Filipino food, and
Yes, please.
we're
Yes,
gonna do all that.
please.
But man, we're definitely proud of what you are, what you're becoming, and I definitely, wish you nothing but great success in the future. And I love the relationship we're building right here because there's definitely more things that I want to bring up outside of this show. But this show is all about you and just bringing you up and getting you on. I definitely want to open up YouTube one day and see more, Josette talking about her acting career, not just the cleaning lady, just the person that you are, the actress that you are, the actress that you're going to be moving forward. And I know and I feel it in my heart that you're going to definitely have a big, bright career moving forward.
You're so kind, Eric. That's really sweet. And yes, I love hit me up. I love talking about the Philippines, what
Oh,
I've
yeah.
learned. I love it so much.
Ooh.
But yes, sorry. That actually Tobit just texted me. He's an actor, creator, a writer. He said, "Let's shoot something at Spoon and Pork." So
Oh, is he watching? Is he
I don't
looking?
know if he's watching. I
Did
don't think
you,
he
did you
is.
know to text you at the right
I
time?
don't think he is. But he's so creative. Oh my God, please. I'm gonna talk to him about you and hopefully
Yeah.
you guys can. He's so funny. He's
Yeah.
so funny.
I'm actually in the middle of writing something. I don't know why I decided to write something. Miranda just like thinged it in my head like you gotta write something, so I'm writing something, but I think I'm gonna write the whole, I think I want to copyright and do the whole ninang thing, right? Let's do the whole ninang show,
Can we?
you know,
You have to
coming
give me like 20 years to look like a Ninang though. Or I can be the Michael Corleone.
of the ninang.
And then
Yeah, you could.
we get oh my God, Sharon Coneta to be
Oh,
Ninang.
ninang
Yeah. And then she's passing on the torch to me.
to you. Yeah, yeah.
Can we do this?
But see again, we're that, with that young skin that we don't look our age, so you
Yeah.
know you could be a ninang at this age, and doesn't we don't have to do the whole old ninang look anymore,
You
right?
don't? That would be cool.
No,
I'd
no.
love to play opposite Sharon Coneta.
Oh my god.
That'd be really cool.
Trust me. The hard thing about, the easy thing about getting American Filipino actors is like, like you were probably one of the easiest ones. Shoot you a message, you're like, yes, I'd be on your show. You know, Trying to get them on my show, it's a different story. It's
Oh,
like,
really?
oh my god, it's
Oh no.
trust me. Before I did this whole thing, that's the first thing I wanted to do. Let me get some Filipino actors and actresses, Sharon Cuneta.
Filipino, yes.
Yes, those guys. And just dealing with their publicists, their agents, it's like it's not the easiest thing to deal with. Let's just put it that way. I
I
don't want
was
to.
gonna say, like, it seems like such a business, and this is what I always love that my dad told me. He was like, it sounds corny, but he always was like, "Stay true to the art." Like, stay true to the art of it.
Yeah,
And, like, it's so easy to go about my life as an actor in LA 'cause I just that's what I did. like, my experiences as this, I own it. Yeah, I serve, I've had breaks, I've had ups, I've had downs. This is all who I am. I don't need, like, a publicist or anything. I'd love to talk about this stuff. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. And what I love about your role is exactly how you are, how I think you are in real life. Like just
That's
that
what
one
everyone's
scene.
been saying. Like, "You're so natural." I'm like,
Yeah.
"That's nice." Like,
That one scene where Elodie fakes the sun, you're like, that's so gangsta. You know?
I told you that was my Bay Area hood. Come
I was like, wait, was she acting or was she being herself? You
No,
know?
that was me.
No, that's cool.
Oh my god, and the writer of that episode, Charlie, she is so, so kind, and after we cut, she was like, "You did that so well." I'll never forget that. That was so nice, like, the writer saying, "Thank you for
Yes.
saying my words." That's the environment that Joe created. A supportive, beautiful place where people could be proud to do their work together.
What are some of the difficult things you have when it comes to acting, not just with the cleaning lady, but just in general?
Confidence. You have to walk there, with Audition specifically, and even, like, once they yell roll, I haven't had watch me start getting nervous now, but I haven't had much of a problem when they yell roll, like, when they're like, "Okay, action, rolling, action." I usually, have something in me where, like, my kind of, like my other persona comes out, or, like, I know the game's on, and I have to start playing the game, like, shoot the ball, like, score, all that kinda stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But in auditions, it's a different story, and that I really had to work on my confidence. You really have to go in knowing that you're gonna book it, or, like, having that mindset. Like, I remember someone was like, "Stick $100 in your back pocket, and know you're leaving out there with $100." Even
Wow.
the audition was bad, you have $100 in your pocket, anything to make me just release and have fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, a big thing for me was confidence and really believing that I would be on TV one day, or I would be able to do what I came out here to do. That was
You
this challenge for me.
you definitely shine, and you again, like my uncle Nick said, you definitely make a lot of the Filipinos proud. Not just Filipinos in general, but you also make the females actors who are in the same boat that you're in, or who's trying to think, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to get into acting? Do I want to get on this journey? You are living proof that if you do it and you put your craft into it, you'll definitely get somewhere. And this show right here, again, it's just going to be successful, and I definitely see it. I want to see more than one season. I'm almost certain there's going to be a season two, just because of where it's going and where it's headed. And I want to see more of Dara on the show.
I wanna see more of Dara too. I
Be
really
part
do. I
be
really do.
part of the family. It's like, hey, Dara,
It
you
was
got
so sweet. I think Miranda, after my first scene, had reposted on Instagram, "Welcome to the family, Dara," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, she gave her liver. She deserved to be part of the family."
yes, you're
I want
definitely
a scene
part of
with
the family.
Martha. That's my biggest dream, is to have a scene with Martha.
Martha, when I had her on the show and I did my research with Martha, I never realized she starred in some big name Filipino actors in the past.
Oh, she has? I didn't
Yeah.
see either.
Yeah, there was a I forget the name of the movie. I have it somewhere. I have it written down on one of my cheat sheets. But when she was a teenager, she played a big role in it was one of those Filipino movies that they spoke English but they spoke Tagalog, and she had a role in that. She played the daughter, and I was like, oh my god, you were able to play with this character in the Philippines, and like you said earlier, like trying to get these characters on just the show like this. It's definitely, I'm trying to work on it. So one
I
day when
think
you
it'll
see,
happen.
yeah,
Just keep persistence is key.
yeah, that's what it is. And yeah, and like you said earlier, like when you have all these auditions and you're not sure what's the outcome's going to be, you don't know how many people I reached out to just in the business that hasn't responded to me, or they say they're going to respond to me, but they haven't responded to me. But right now I'm on this cleaning lady trip. I want to say there's two more of you guys coming on in the next couple episodes. So yeah,
Ah,
you'll be able to see it next week. Two more. I already locked it in. I don't want to give spoilers. I'll text you who it is. I'll text you who it is.
I
But I
love
don't want to
that.
tell anybody else who it is. Um, what's this? My uncle is telling us, Eric, just know if you underwent the workshop or just the audition.
Tito Nick.
Did I, Uncle Nick, did I go through the workshop? Just want to know if she underwent to the workshop or just the audition.
Like workshop meaning what?
Maybe the audition of the cleaning lady. I'm thinking that's what he's asking.
So that was actually a tape. So now because of COVID, before COVID, I would have a lot of these too. It was about half and half, but they have us film ourselves. So I use my iPhone. They give me a scene, I film it, and then next thing I know, it's like, hey, coming to New Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah. It really does. It's like winning the lotto, like your life kind of it's such a bizarre existence that you'll never like people won't understand unless they live it, but
Yeah.
it is better than winning the lotto getting a call like that because you put in more work for it.
Yeah. I mean, this right here to me, like you just mentioned, to me, having you on is like winning the lotto. Having
Oh,
somebody on who just a couple days ago I was watching cross the border from Mexico back into the US, and now here we are talking, it's
I
just
made it. I'm
to
okay.
me, it's like winning the lotto. And I totally get what you say about nerves and confidence. You don't know how many times I get on a show like this and I'm like, all right. All right. I get nervous. Even though we're not in the same room, I'm watching you, I'm looking at you. And again, a couple days ago you were on TV, and now here I am sharing your story with everyone and everyone around the world. And again, I want to thank you for jumping on. Thank you for being part of the show. And I definitely want to do more work with you moving forward, more Filipino related conversations. And I wrote this whole thing because I thought you were going to bring it up, just talking about Filipino history, just things
We
like
we
that.
should make a separate one about that
Yeah,
'cause
I'm
I
totally
could go
down.
off. Oh,
Oh my god.
I will recommend if you haven't yet, this is where I have most of my, knowledge of Filipino history is from Stanley Carnow's I think it was written in, like, the '90s or something, or released in the '90s, called In Our Image,
Okay.
America's Something in the Philippines, and it's fascinating, like a very easy, long read of the Spanish invasion, yeah, with Magellan in the 1500s, all the way to it ends with Marcos. I think that's where they ended it because when the book was released, that was around that time period that
Okay.
had happened. So that book really, like, I learned so much.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I love about you is, you're born here, but you're very Filipino, driven, Filipino history driven. And you just mentioned the video with Ruby and all the stuff they were wearing in there, it's like, wow, proud Filipino right there. And when I watched it, I was like, wow, wow,
And
this is
it's
our culture.
gorgeous, like, it's so beautiful, and I think, unfortunately, colonial mentality has taken priority, has taken precedent there, and I'm just about going the other way. That's
Yeah.
what that makes me excited, that makes me curious, not changing this to fit an ideal, like, accepting this and seeing where that came from.
Yeah.
That's um, that's where I wanna go, that's the path
No.
I wanna go down.
Sad. For everyone watching, I want to thank everyone for jumping on. Josette Canilao again on the cleaning lady plays Dara. For you guys who want to rewatch this, it's going to be available on YouTube. I'm going to have this up on YouTube. For you guys who are watching me on Facebook, this is definitely going to be on Facebook as well. And for you guys who don't like to watch but would rather listen, I'm going to upload this on a podcast so that way while you're driving to work, you guys can listen to the conversation we have. But I would just suggest watching it so that way you can see Josette's face and see the emotions that she has. Your mom says, "Thank you, Eric, for doing this." Mom, it was my pleasure for having Josette on, and I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody else. You're definitely more than welcome to jump back on. If you want to share your story, if you want to talk about anything film related, Filipino related, Philippines related, even if you want to talk about fork and pork or spoon and
Spoon
pork,
and fork.
yeah,
Spoon and fork.
spoon and pork. And if you want to bring your friend on, if you want to have all three of us on and talk about that,
That would be awesome.
I can have 10
He's
people
of
on.
the same ilk as me too. That's why we get along. We're
Nice.
very yeah, we're very similar in that way.
Nice. And coming soon, we're going to be watching The Ninang
I'm
with
excited for that.
Josette
Great idea.
Canilao. instead
We're
of
gonna make that now, and they have to pay me.
instead of cigars, we're just sitting there and you're like eating lumpia.
And we have our fans,
Oh,
obviously.
yes. The
God,
pamaypay, right? The
pamaypay.
pamaypay. My aunt's probably watching in the Philippines, and she's gonna send me a message like, "Hoy, where's the Tagalog? You promised you're gonna say one Tagalog word." There, I said pamaypay.
Pamaypay, pamaypay.
Pamaypay.
Salamat,
Little
Kuya
fan.
Eric, salamat.
Salamat.
Marami pong salamat.
There you go. Everyone, Josette, let's give her another round of applause for jumping on right here. Again, you guys can catch her on The Cleaning Lady, Mondays on Fox here in the Bay Area at 9 o'clock. No spoilers for next week. Please don't give us spoilers. Don't tell me spoilers. I'm not even going to ask you what's going on in the season finale. But thank you for sharing your story. Good luck in your career, and you're doing an amazing job. And I definitely, wish you nothing but great success moving forward, and definitely want to see you in another role doing other things, whether you're playing a Filipino character or where you're playing a Cambodian character. It's Josette Canilao. That's who's going to be playing the character at the end of the day. And that's all we want to see. And you'll make not just the Filipinos proud, but you'll make your mom proud. You'll make the community proud. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
yes.
I appreciate
Josette, thank you for jumping on. And anything you want to tell everyone before you leave?
Just thank you. And I'm really, really happy to be doing it. This made my day. Thank you for having me on the show.
One last thing from my Uncle Nick. Thank you both. Entertainment. Salamat, mabuhay ka.
Salamat, Tito Nick.
Cherry says, good luck in your career. Good luck. And
Thank you, Sherry.
definitely jump on anytime. Definitely you have that's how I know you're such a humble person. And let me just share this real quick before you get off. I asked you if you want to FaceTime or if you want to Zoom. And you said FaceTime is fine. I'm like, oh, she's okay. She's trustworthy with her number. So
Again,
that
like, yeah, I love talking about being Filipino and being able to represent being Filipino in the arts, and any avenue I can do that with, happy to do it, no reservations really. I looked on your thing, checked you out, Miranda and Martha was on, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this will be fun."
yeah, and it's funny because that's what I'm using right now. Hey, I recently had Miranda and Martha on. Now I can add. I had Josette on as well. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for jumping on. I'm going to end the live stream the same time Josette goes off the air. But thank you guys for watching. Josette, wish you nothing but great success in the future. You're definitely welcome back on anytime you want, and we'll definitely do something in the future moving forward.
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Josette, thank you. Bye-bye.